Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel, and today we are going to be talking to the wonderful Samantha Gardner and the Gardner family!
So if you're wondering about our different location, it's because we're currently in Mexico.
And we've got kind of like a greeny kind of thing going on behind us.
Well, the camera thinks it's green, but it's actually brown.
Yeah.
How does that make it better?
I don't know. Anyway, so if you've been following our journey, we obviously did a big reveal of Sam on Thursday. And in between now posting that video and this video, we've actually travelled to Mexico because we're about to start the next process. We have to be in Mexico for 2 weeks prior then to taking Sam into the US for the, what do you call it?
Insemination.
That sounds so aggressive.
It sounds so aggressive.
Implantation.
Yeah.
Insemination.
Transfer.
Embryo
transfer.
So, you know what, actually, we had a call with our doctor before we came. No, we don't even know. We had a call with our doctor even before we came out, and he said he would do some videos with us because we're clearly not scientists, so we're learning so much about this process. But we asked on our Instagrams, we had loads of questions, what questions you'd want to ask Sam, and I've got loads of questions that I want to ask her, and I think...
And I've got loads too.
Yeah, fabulous. So
I think you've got loads as well, haven't you?
I did, yeah.
It's amazing that so many people are interested in what's going on.
So interested.
So I think the first question is, when did you first think about surrogacy, and then when did you think first about surrogacy as in for us?
Okay, so first about surrogacy was probably about 5 years ago.
Wow.
A couple of our friends have, it hasn't been easy for them to get pregnant, and it came into my head and I just thought, oh my goodness, what an absolute gift to do for somebody. And then obviously I was following your journey. I spoke to Stuart a couple of times and he mentioned that in the future he'd like children, and I just...
We were in the hot tub.
Yeah, we were in the hot tub.
We were in the hot tub at my house, and it was like
that was about two
two years
ago.
And it wasn't it was just like a flip conversation, but I remember it so clearly. Like, you looked into my eyes and you were like, Stuart, if you ever decide to do it, I will be your surrogate.
But you never shared that with me, I don't think.
Because it was like a flip away comment.
And you weren't ready then either.
No. So it was like a flip away comment, so I wasn't really thinking, oh, this is going to be my surrogate. And then when we went to start in America, I didn't really even think about it. No. I just thought it was just like, I didn't want to approach you.
Not that
by the way, you offered me.
Remember in my hot tub when you were having loads of fun, you said.
But that first time you hadn't been drinking or anything. It was like a dead, serious offer.
Around the house.
And then, so it was last year, we were already in the process. We'd actually even secured a US surrogate, so that's the way we were going to go. And then Stuart went up to Wales for something, and then what happened?
For a spa day.
Yeah, another hot tub.
Basically, whenever I get in the hot tub, she wants to do it.
But then there was alcohol involved, and the reason why that's important, because when they told me that Sam had offered, when Stuart told me, I didn't believe him.
You just thought I was drunk.
Yeah, so you're drunk.
And then the morning after, I said, actually, I think it would be a really good idea. So I called you, I was like, I actually think I would love Sam to do it, but how do I just make sure she wasn't just drunk in the moment?
And I remember speaking to Craig saying, I think I would actually do it, what do you think? And he's like, go for it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That is why Craig is just like an absolute.
Yeah, and we are gonna. I think most of the questions we've had have been about like,
family.
What do your family think, and we really want to make sure we get those questions in. I think because what your family is doing for us is it blows my mind.
Although you are the one that's the one that's doing all the hard work, I feel like the whole family have to be on board. And one of the major things for us is that Craig, your husband, was like on board. I didn't want there ever to be any kind of like friction in your relationship.
Yeah.
And you know what? Actually, we'll make a really nice video, and we won't have time to cover it today. But like the process of everything that you had to go through to get medically cleared.
Yeah.
Just for anyone
that was epic. Yeah, it seemed to take like 4 years. But honey, she's amazing.
So should we crack on with some of the questions?
Let's answer some of the questions. So this question is: have you ever been a surrogate before?
No, never.
And actually that ties in with someone else's question of, would you have done it if you hadn't had your own kids first? No. And actually, what was your answer?
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah, but actually in the US, what approves a surrogate, you have to have had kids before because they base your pregnancies and your births. It's so funny, like, had 2 vaginal births. These words, they base that on whether they think you're fit to be a good surrogate.
Yeah, we spoke so much about vaginas.
Vaginas and periods. It was never a kind of conversation that me and
Have you ever heard of that thing of the different kind of gays? I'm a gold star gay, which means I've never kissed a girl or been with a girl. You have been, though, haven't you? So I get really weird talking about vaginas.
But you have touched your mums.
I have touched my mum. Yes, that's what super. I think maybe that's what a gold star gay is. I get that wrong. Is someone a gay guy that's born by cesarean?
So never touches anything. Do you have kids yourself?
I do. I have 2.
How old are your kids?
Beautiful children. 13.
Beautiful.
Lacey is 13 and Corey is 9.
And we're having fun in Mexico for the next 2 weeks. I mean, it's like one of the things of because of COVID.
One of the benefits.
Yeah, we can't go to the US without being here for 2 weeks, but it's actually quite.
So we're all inclusive for 2 weeks. It's like.
Here's a great question: how did your hub? Let's talk about the first time you approached Craig about it.
Okay, so he was actually there when I just said I would do it. But obviously we had a proper conversation when there was no drink involved in the morning. And he was just like, yeah, I think it's a great idea. You know, you've had perfect pregnancies, labours, and just go for it. He's just so laid back.
He's so laid back. We love you.
Just in the room back here.
So how did your kids first take the news of the decision? And let's talk about that thing that Lacey said.
Yeah, so I knew Lacey would be ecstatic because I was actually watching Stuart on a Sunday afternoon on Instagram talking about the process, and she knew that he didn't have a surrogate, and she just was listening. And she goes, Mum, why don't you just have Stuart's baby? And I knew then that obviously we were thinking about that process, but she didn't, and she was literally just like, just do it, Mum. And I was like, oh. So I didn't want to tell her then, because it was very early, but she suggested it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'll ask Lacey this question, but the reason why Lacey knows a lot about surrogacy is because she's a big Friends fan, and when Phoebe obviously has her brother's triplets, that's what she's learned about surrogacy.
She knows more than me.
It's amazing.
TV is education, guys. Okay, so talk about when you actually told them then.
So there was loads of nights we were like, should we tell them? Should we not tell them? Should we tell them? Because I didn't want it to be, like a long process, and you know what kids are like. They're like, when's it happening? When's it happening? So it was just a Sunday night again, and Craig was like, I think we should just tell them. So I sat them down, I got the phone out, obviously, to film them.
I'm going to put the video up.
Yeah, you absolutely can. I wasn't sure how Corey was going to react, but the good thing is I knew Lacey would be ecstatic, so I think that helped him. But I just, started filming, I started telling them, and Lacey was like, oh, no, and Corey was like, you're not keeping it. I was like, no, I think he was more relieved that I wasn't having another child.
He gets straight away though. As soon as you put the camera on, he's like, Mum, are you pregnant?
Yeah. For a few months, something's been going on.
Pregnant. What? Is it?
I'm not pregnant. Yet.
What?
I'm going to be carrying Stuart Armfield and Francis's baby.
Cool.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
It's one hell of a guess, though, Corey.
Yeah, that is one hell of a guess. Is it good that it's not going to be also cool?
Yeah.
What do you think, Lace?
I'm so happy. They deserve it.
Aww.
Do you think
Are you getting upset?
What do you think?
What do you think?
Oh,
It's going to be a long journey. Next year. You okay? You getting upset too?
no.
I love you.
I think that also ties in with one of the questions, which was about how you're going to feel like giving the baby up.
Yeah, I got a lot of those questions.
Yeah,
like how
I've had lots of that.
How are you mentally preparing yourself for this amazing gift?
Yeah, I don't know if I can mentally prepare myself, but I just know that as a mum, when you want children, and even when I had Lacey, any little babies, I would just get broody, and I would want one, and I would want to hold it, and I would be straight to my friends, or for cuddles. And I don't get that feeling anymore. As sad as that sounds, I don't know if that is, a weird feeling, but I don't get the broody feeling. And I've never wanted any more than 2 children, whether that was 2 boys, girls, whatever. And I just know that, yeah, I wouldn't get attached to it in any kind of way. And it's not my baby. That's what I keep telling people. This is not my baby. I am just cooking it.
I think people also think that so Sam is literally carrying the baby. The egg donor is someone completely different. And I think that's a common misconception. Although someone said on Facebook, "Oh, you'd make beautiful children." I'm like, we would make beautiful children. How beautiful is she? But Sam doesn't have any genetic connection to the baby.
No.
And that's one of the things we wanted. We wanted to make sure the egg donor was someone we didn't know. Because again, a lot of our friends said, "Oh, I'll give you an egg, I'll give you an egg." But actually the DNA behind the baby, we wanted that part to be completely just us with an egg donor that we weren't going to see again. And then like this part, again, we weren't going to do it with a surrogate we didn't know, but actually for us it just worked out so unbelievably
just
amazing.
Be present. I just like that you can be present
and like fully engage with you.
What about your extended family, like your mum and Craig's parents? Like, how are they kind of? Do they actually understand it, or?
Yeah, I think my mum understands it. Again, she's a Friends fan, so she understands it. She's so open-minded. I'm not sure about Craig's mum and dad. They are so supportive and have been absolutely wonderful. But I think at first they thought it was going to be my child, or Craig's child. I don't know how it would work. But no, they're just so supportive. They're just absolutely fabulous.
I think that is
both sides. Brilliant.
I think when we first started to speak about this, I was nervous of what people.
Telling my mum.
Yeah,
telling your mum,
telling my mum. But I was even scared about talking about it because I just feel like I was worried people have a really strong and negative opinion. I didn't want
opinion about surrogacy.
I didn't know. It's uncharted ground that we don't really know too much about. Or people don't know too much about.
But also that's why we are. I feel like, because I think one of the questions here is like, do you feel pressure to make it work? Like, are you anxious about making sure you get pregnant? And I think we've had this discussion as well, like, because we put everything out there and we wanted to share the whole journey, but we also know we know that things may not all go right exactly. So although our affirmation is that it always goes away,
I know, but everything always does go away. Whether this doesn't work the first time, it wasn't right at that time. Like it's still working out for us, but just in a different way than we thought.
So how do you feel about that? About kind of, are you anxious about the process or kind of?
No, I'm not anxious at all. I thought I would be. Because before Avon I used to be a really anxious person, but I'm not. I'm just looking forward to the process, believing that it's all going to be good.
One thing about you though that I have definitely picked up on your energy is you just have this really like calm, reassuring energy. And obviously me and Francis are a little bit like heightened at times and probably will be even worse.
I'm definitely more heightened.
You take heightened to a new extreme. I didn't want to just say you, but
it's definitely just me.
But you have got such a calm, like Mother Earth kind of energy. It's honestly, it's amazing.
And I think like thinking about the process, how the process would have been in America, and I'm sure the surrogate we chose would have been incredible, but we wouldn't have been able to have this connection and time and actually physical time together. It feels so much more special. I think.
The other thing I want to talk to you about is that a lot of people have asked you on your Instagram, is this like, or be careful, is this like a huge medical procedure that you're going to have to be put under for? And we have actually seen a girl do it on Instagram, haven't we? So you don't get put down.
Thank God.
We're sending her to the vets.
You don't get put under. What happens is they have this like really wobbly kind of like needle, and the embryo is literally like this. It's tiny.
But also you've got to understand, this is like IVF. Like and what I've realised by making all these videos and putting everything out there, the amount of women and couples that are going through IVF is so much more than I thought.
Yeah, totally. And also, I truly believe we have picked the best doctor on the planet. Like, he is so amazing. And when we were doing our research, that was one of the things that we came off the call with him and we're like, he's the one.
He just makes you feel instantly relaxed. And he's just, so lovely. Such a lovely man.
Do not worry if you are one of Sam's friends slightly concerned.
I would just say for the women out there who've experienced like a smear, that is literally all it is. It's just like,
so some of the questions we've had is kind of why we are doing in the USA. And that's because obviously our intention as a couple was to do the whole thing in the USA, but it's really more to do with the egg donor part because In the US, there's a lot more transparency with egg donors. Like, you get to see profiles, you get to
speak to them.
Yeah, that was really important to us. We wanted to know who the egg donor is. But I suppose this process that we're doing now is just because we're committed to the doctor. And I'm very grateful that we actually are doing it with the doctor. But it would be possible anywhere in the UK.
But yeah, the reason why we're in Mexico is because you have to have a 2-week quarantine period before you can get into the US. So we're not, other than having checkups, which we're going to do checkups in Mexico, we're not doing the procedure or anything medical in Mexico. It's all being done in the US.
And yeah, if you watch our vlog on Thursday, you'll get to see a bit more of the things we're getting up to here in Mexico.
Will you be in the baby's life afterwards?
100% if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I said on my Instagram today, like, it takes a whole army of people to create our family. Like, it's your family, it's us, it's our doctors, it's like a whole big support network. And I actually think, like, although this is, we can't have a baby as in a traditional sense as a gay couple, I think it's actually amazing that we get to have all these extra people in our lives. So I would love it if you were
Yeah,
if you would mind.
Special Auntie Sam.
No, but also I think I really want to be, as the children grow up, again we don't know what it's going to feel like or be like.
Yeah.
But I want to be transparent about how we've really we wanted this so badly, and we've gone through all of this kind of journey, and I want them to know that what you have done for us. And
whenever they're throwing a tantrum, do you know
how much you cost?
How much you cost? You can't use that on normal kids, can you? Oh, someone put, no question, but I love you and I'm so proud of you. Behind you all 100%. That's so nice. Nurse Jonesy, that's what you know.
My wonderful bestie.
Oh,
yeah,
so
she's
amazing.
Fabulous. She is actually the first person I told.
This message is from Mrs. Shan Waz. No question, but Sam, you are amazing for what you're doing. The most selfless act. Big love to you all. That's so kind.
I've got one that says, "You rock, girl."
Perfect. Let's get everyone else in. So, hello, gardeners.
Hi.
We thought we'd grab this moment to get you all together just to ask you a few questions. Obviously, Sam's been chatting about your reactions, but Lacey, why don't you talk about kind of what you thought straight away first when your mum told you?
I was excited and really shocked at the same time because I didn't expect it at all, but I'm so happy she's doing it.
You gave her the idea almost, didn't you?
Like a couple of weeks before, I saw my mum watching a video of Stuart saying something about surrogacy. It's like, oh, Mum, you should do that. So, and then a couple of weeks after, she told us.
What about you, Corey? What do you think about the whole thing?
I was excited they were going on holiday.
Absolutely. How do you think you're going to feel when your mum's pregnant with a baby, like our baby? How will that feel?
It'll feel different because I was really young when my mum had Corey, but I'm just excited to go through the whole process with it.
Corey, do you understand how it works? He's just happy he's in Mexico.
Oh, he didn't know that at first, though.
No, he didn't.
He didn't know anything to do with the holiday. None of us did. We didn't know he'd have to come and quarantine for 2 weeks or anything like that, so you knew nothing about that.
Yeah.
What about you, Craig? What was your first reaction to the whole thing?
Like Sam's explained before, we already had this process in our minds anyway. We were going to help friends out previously. Obviously, drunken night in a hot tub happened, and one thing led to another. I was always happy. My only two things were if it was safe for Sam, as long as Sam was okay, and obviously if these two were happy about the process. That was the only thing in my mind. As long as them two things were ticked off, it made no difference to me whatsoever. I'm just glad we can help.
Well, honestly, me and Stuart can't even begin to express the gratitude of what we're doing for us, and also for you being such good sports and being willing to be filmed and stuff like that. But thank you so much. We've got so many exciting adventures to come over the next year and all the other years after that. But yeah, we just want to say thank you.
Being on this film is a lot worse than going through the surrogate.
They're so funny.
I know.
Natural for the cameras.
Thank you so much for watching.
Please stay tuned for our next video on Thursday. Please like and subscribe. And
so good.
Ready?
please like and subscribe and comment down the sections down below.